It's Monday on Gav's Weather Vid, so that means it's Europe Day. We're going to look at the weather across the European continent throughout this week, and of course all eyes are on Poland and the Ukraine because that's where the Euro 2012 competition is being held, football competition, so we'll be looking at that area of the continent in some detail through this video as well. Now, before I get on with the European outlook, I just want to talk about the advertising. There'll usually be a video ad overlaying my weather videos at gavsweathervids.com. Please play those video ads because you'll be supporting gavsweathervids.com by doing that. Also, I want to talk about the website where I get the charts from. It's weathercentral.de. You can find that on my linked page. So this is the situation across Europe today. We've got low pressure really in control across the northwest Europe, back the bulk of the continent. We've got very weak pressure or low pressure. There's not really much in the way of high pressure throughout the continent. This is very unusual now. You would not be expected to see high pressure developing at least through the Mediterranean. Not really much sign even down there of any particularly high pressure developing. So, having a quick look at the upper air temperatures for today across the continent, and well, it's a very cool scene up across the northwest of Europe, around Britain, Ireland, Scandinavia, down in towards Germany, France, into northern Spain and Portugal. Very cool upper air temperatures there. The warmth is ready through the southern parts of the Mediterranean, but even here the temperatures, upper air temperatures, probably aren't what you would expect. Some hot weather really around Greece, some high temperatures there down around Greece, but really it is quite a cool scene across the bulk of the continent. Temperatures really below average for many places, although the warmth is in the east and the southeast. Now, looking at the precipitation on the continent today, and we can see we've got a lot of precipitation here around much of the west and northwest Europe, Britain, Ireland, seeing precipitation. We've also got precipitation through the bulk of Scandinavia. So it's really a case of showers or longer spells of rain here through Britain, Ireland, France, down into the north of Spain, through into Germany, and as we look in towards Poland and the Ukraine, we've got some showers or thunderstorms going on there and going up towards the northeastern parts, or I should say the western parts of Russia. Quick looking at the Cape, this is the convective potential. So this is really telling us where we've got the risk of thunderstorms. Well, there could be some thunderstorms across France today, and really there's a lot of convective potential across the bulk of the continent through the course of today. So France, Germany, the Low Countries, yes, there could be some precipitation there, and some very high Cape readings going through towards the Ukraine. So there could be some thunderstorms around in parts of Ukraine today. And then going down into the Black Sea, and then down in towards the Balkans and parts of northern Turkey, we've got the risk of some convection there. And really there's this is indicating there's a very showery situation going on across the bulk of the continent, more than you would expect really at this time of the year. Temperatures today, well, it's a very cool scene on this western side of Europe, Britain, Ireland, France, down in towards Spain. Temperatures well below where they should be. Germany as well on the cool side. But warmth is really again in the east and the southeastern part of Europe, so parts of southern Italy on in towards Greece and Turkey, and then going up towards Russia and parts of Ukraine. That's where the warmth is, and on into some eastern parts of Poland. We've got a little bit of warmth, but really it's a cool scene across the continent today. Into the middle of the week, and another area of low pressure starting to develop out in the Atlantic. That'll be important for the latter part of the week, but the continent over the course of the middle of the week, again, you've got quite weak pressure here. No real sign of high pressure developing anywhere across the continent through the middle of the week. So it's a showery scene again. We can see that through the precipitation charts for Wednesday. We've got a lot of showers or longer spells of rain here through many northern and central parts of Europe. Bulk of Spain and Portugal will be dry, and on in towards the central base of the Mediterranean, dry weather there. In fact, a lot of the Mediterranean dry through the middle part of the week, but for central, northern and eastern parts of Europe, we do have showers or longer spells of rain. A lot of it showers or rain predicted there for Poland through the middle of the week. So any football games going on in Poland midweek could see some heavy rain, perhaps not too much for Ukraine. For the Cape charts, the convective potential, well, thunderstorms there being indicated for Poland. I think could have some quite thundery weather in that rain across Poland. Not too much across the Ukraine, but some parts of Ukraine could have some thunderstorms. And really, again, when we see that the bulk of the continent is at risk of seeing quite a bit of convection through the course of the week. That's just indicating there's a lot of showery weather going on and not really much in the way of high pressure. Though notice no convection for Spain and Portugal and the central base of the Mediterranean, so some quite decent weather probably there. The temperatures, well, it's a cool scene again across the bulk of the continent. Temperatures well below average again for this western and central part of Europe. The warmth again is to the east, and you can't see it on this chart, but for central and southern parts of Spain. Now to the weekend, next weekend, and we've got another area of low pressure. Next area of low pressure is dominating across the northwest of Europe, so again for Britain and Ireland it's a very unsettled scene as we go towards next weekend with more heavy rain, maybe just bringing some warmer air up in towards the central parts of Europe at the end of the week. That might just be as high pressure begins to ridge up. Have a look at that in terms of the upper air temperatures. And we see we have got some warmth here beginning to pull up out of the Mediterranean. It is turning warmer through the Mediterranean. That warmth is starting to extend up into the central parts, but for the northwest of Europe it's a very cool scene as we go into next weekend. No sign of summer there. And here's the precipitation. Well, look at that for Britain and Ireland and Denmark, the Low Countries, some parts of southern Scandinavia. Very much low pressure dominating, a lot of rain and showers there. Some rain and showers coming down in towards northern Spain and Portugal again as well. But for central southern parts of Spain and Portugal, largely dry, and that dry weather extends through the central base of Mediterranean. Some thunderstorms possible through Germany and Poland as that warmer air pulls up out of the Mediterranean. But for these southeastern parts of Europe, a lot of dry weather. For the convective potential for next weekend, well, the convection is ready for the central parts of Europe through Germany and Poland. I think could have some quite heavy thunderstorms there as the air is turning warmer. And there's the warmth coming up in towards Germany and Poland. Could be up to 30 degrees in Poland by the weekend. That's around 80 Fahrenheit, 86 Fahrenheit, actually 30 degrees. But to the northwest of Europe again, it's a very cool scene. Britain, Ireland, temperatures just staying into the mid-teens, down in towards France, probably no better than 21 degrees for the bulk of France, 70 Fahrenheit. Some warmth into the south of France and through into northern Spain, but as I say, the west of Europe really very much on the cool side. The warmth is in the central and eastern parts of the continent at the end of the week, but really no sign of any particularly hot weather coming up this week. Temperatures very much on the cool side, and it's much more unsettled really than it should be now for summer across the continent. You want to expect high pressure really to be starting to settle large parts of the continent down. It's not happening yet. Low pressure still dominating, so cool showery scene for the continent this week. That's all for now.